Your arteries are older than you are. Right now, while you sit there feeling perfectly fine, something is quietly building inside the walls of your blood vessels. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't warn you. It just waits. It's called plaque, a slow mix of fat, cholesterol, and calcium, and by the time it finally speaks, the conversation is usually an emergency. But here's what almost no one tells you. The same fork that narrows those arteries can also help clear the road ahead. Every food that cleans your arteries? Explained, not from most famous to least, from the ground up. From the simplest thing you ignore, all the way to the food that does what your body has been quietly begging for. Let's start where nobody looks. Water. It sounds too plain to belong on a list like this, but dehydrated blood moves like syrup through pipes that are already narrowing. When you run low on water, your blood thickens, your pressure climbs, and your heart strains to push it through. Water doesn't scrub anything. It does something quieter and more important. It keeps everything flowing and gives every other food here a clear highway to travel. Skip this one and the rest barely works. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, chard. These are packed with natural nitrates and your body turns them into nitric oxide. That single molecule tells the walls of your arteries to relax and open wider. Wider arteries mean lower pressure and less strain on the exact lining where plaque loves to grab hold. It isn't magic, it's chemistry eaten one green leaf at a time. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. That deep color isn't decoration, it's a signal. Those pigments are antioxidants that fight the slow inflammation damaging your vessel walls from the inside. Remember this, because it matters later. It's not just cholesterol that hurts you, it's cholesterol that gets damaged and turns sticky. Berries help stop that damage before it can begin. Sweet on the tongue, serious in the blood. Oats. Here is where fiber enters the story, and fiber is a hero this whole list leans on. The soluble fiber in oats forms a soft gel in your gut that traps cholesterol and carries it out before it ever reaches your bloodstream. Eat them steadily, and your LDL, the cholesterol that builds plaque, begins to fall. No drama. Just a small daily subtraction from a very old problem. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. Now the list gets stronger. These carry omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3s do something rare. They lower the fat floating in your blood, calm inflammation, and make your blood less likely to form a dangerous clot. This is the fat that fights fat. Quick question before we go deeper, and hold your answer. Which food on this list do you think can actually reverse damage, not just prevent it? Keep watching. You'll know before the end. Olive oil. Real, extra virgin, cold pressed. Not the cheap imitation hiding in a fancy bottle. This is the fat that built the healthiest hearts on the Mediterranean coast. It's rich in compounds that protect the delicate inner lining of your arteries, a layer called the endothelium. Protect that lining, and plaque has nothing to cling to. One spoon of the right oil undoes more than an entire aisle of the wrong ones. If this is already changing how you see your next meal, subscribe now, because the strongest foods on this list are still ahead, and they're the ones almost nobody eats often enough. Nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios. Just a handful a day, they combine healthy fats, fiber, and plant compounds that physically block cholesterol from being absorbed in the first place. Study after study ties regular nut eaters to lower rates of heart disease. Small, dense, quietly powerful. Just don't bury them in salt and sugar and cancel the gift. Flaxseed, tiny and easy to laugh off. Ground into your food, these seeds deliver plant omega-3s and a specific fiber that grips cholesterol and drags it out of your system. A single spoon stirred into oats or a smoothie works silently, every day, asking nothing and giving plenty. The smallest thing on this list punches far above its size. Avocado, creamy, and often feared for its fat. That fear is aimed at the wrong target. Its fat is the good kind, the same family that shields your arteries. It also carries potassium, which steadies blood pressure, and fiber, which handles cholesterol. It doesn't just avoid harm, it actively repairs the ground beneath the problem. Tomatoes, especially cooked. Heat unlocks lycopene, the pigment that turns tomatoes red and hands your arteries a shield against damage. A simple sauce, a paste, a slow-cooked stew. All of them raise your lycopene and lower the harm. Sometimes cooking a food makes it stronger, not weaker. Garlic. Now we step into medicine that grows in the dirt. Crush a single clove and it releases allicin, a compound shown to lower blood pressure and slow the buildup of plaque along your vessel walls. Ancient healers used garlic as a remedy long before anyone could explain why it worked. They were right anyway. The smell you try to hide is the exact strength you actually want. Green tea. Every cup carries catechins, antioxidants that lower bad cholesterol and improve how well your blood vessels open and flex. Whole populations who drink it daily show lower rates of heart disease across their entire lives. It isn't a cure in a cup. It's a habit that compounds, sip after sip, year after year, until the years themselves show the difference. Turmeric, the gold in your spice rack. Its active compound, curcumin, is one of the most studied anti-inflammatory molecules on Earth. And remember what we said. Chronic inflammation is what turns a small deposit into a hard blockage. Curcumin interrupts that fire at the source. Pair it with a pinch of black pepper, the simple trick that lets your body actually absorb it. Beets, deep red and badly underrated. They're one of the richest natural sources of nitrates, converted straight into that same artery-opening nitric oxide. Athletes drink beet juice to widen their vessels and flood their muscles with oxygen. Your heart runs on the exact same mechanism, whether you're sprinting or sleeping. Dark chocolate, real cacao, 70% or higher, not the sugar bars wearing its name. Cacao is loaded with flavonols that boost nitric oxide, relax your arteries, and ease your blood pressure. But here's the honest catch. The more sugar it hides, the less it helps. Earn it dark, or don't count it at all. Pomegranate. And here's the answer to the question I left you with. Its juice is dense with antioxidants so powerful that early studies suggest it can help shrink plaque that already exists and improve blood flow to the heart itself. Not just prevention, the quiet beginning of reversal, a fruit that fights backward against the damage of years. Legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, the silent foundation of the longest living people on Earth. They deliver fiber, plant protein, and steady energy without the arterial cost of red meat. Trade meat for lentils a few nights a week, and over the years, the arteries you rescue are your own. But here's the truth underneath this entire list. No single food unclogs an artery overnight. There is no one bite that erases years of damage. What actually works is the pattern, the quiet, unglamorous repetition of choosing the fork that heals over the fork that harms. Your arteries don't respond to one heroic meal. They respond to who you are at the table every ordinary day. The medicine was never one food. It was the habit of 1,000 small choices, made again and again, long enough to finally matter. So pick one thing from this list and start tomorrow, then add another the week after. Your heart has been keeping you alive without a single day off, without ever once being asked. Maybe it's time you fed it like you finally noticed. I'll be making more videos like this soon. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.